There's an old story about the U.S. Army during World War II was wanting to come up with they needed to find the perfect American guy to go on this special mission. They wanted the perfect guy to go on this mission. So they had narrowed it down to 3 guys, and then they hooked them up to this little machine to do a test. And they did the test like this. They took the first volunteer, they attached him, and they said, Sophia Loren, and it just went off the scale with that volunteer, that young man. Marilyn Monroe went off the scale. Your wife, it went off the scale. They said, they looked and said, that's the all-American guy. I mean, we may not have to do these other 2 guys, but let's do the other 2 just in case. Volunteer number 2, Sophia Loren, it went off the scale. Marilyn Monroe, it went off the scale. Your wife. No reaction, no reaction. They thought, well, this must be the all-American guy, but maybe he's had a fight with his wife last night. He just didn't do very good today. So they hooked up the 3rd volunteer. They said to the second one, you go stand by the other 2 guys away from here. They hooked up the 3rd volunteer. Sophia Loren, nothing happens. Marilyn Monroe, nothing's happening. Your wife, nothing's happening. They think, well, the darn machine's broken. It's not doing right. They said, why don't you go stand over by those other 2 guys while we get it fixed? I've been involved through the years at the state and national level in evaluating research for various purposes, for policy purposes, for productivity purposes, and even as time goes on, more on drainage purposes. And it's all about how do you adapt to the future. I think one thing's perfectly clear. Changes are coming. And it's all what it's about, and we need to be involved. Not your staff people, not like Tim and I, not like Warren, but you yourself as farmers need to be engaged and involved. To give you a good example of that, 5 or 6 years ago, I think the various groups and various individuals were working separately, be it Farm Bureau, be it corn, be it soybeans. But we came together, and Steve, you'll attest to this, got to talking, and we realized that more and more of this was coming all the time. So we came together, and primarily Farm Bureau, but soybeans, corn, soybeans came together and helped create the Minnesota Ag Water Resource Coalition. And that's just trying to get engaged, focused, and evaluate some of these things. The presentation I was going to give you about building trust and the brand of American agriculture, really there's some brochures there that I'll try to hand out for you or have handed out. But basically that's the importance of farmers being engaged through their organizations. Do get involved. Never more important do I think it's been to be involved in the organization that represents every commodity that you grow, crops and livestock, and a general farm organization, either Farm Bureau or Farmers Union. That's the least you can do, but also get involved in them. You can make a difference, a positive difference on what's going to happen as far as the regulations and the rules and the laws and whatever that can become in part. I do think Kurt Dieter gave an excellent presentation. Very common sense and identifying the practicality of it. I think farmers are after sustainability. That's becoming a bigger buzzword in Washington, D.C. In the practical sense of sustainability, we're talking about what's good for the environment, what's good for the economy, and what's good socially. And I think that's what we're all about. I really think that comes to the end of my conclusion. I want you to look through that packet if you want to talk to me about it. It hits several of the major issues, but the one thing it doesn't hit that I think's primarily unique to Minnesota, that we're on the cutting edge, which is the bleeding edge, is drainage and water quality and water management. It's just a bigger issue here than it is in other places. Even with Iowa's got an excellent program going on, but they're mainly focused on nutrients and mainly focused on nitrogen at this point in time. With us, it's sediment, and I think that's going to be increasing. I think we're going to get more involved in the nutrient aspect eventually, but I think on the forefront, it's the sediment issue. With that, I'm going to close. I think it's been a very good day. I commend Mark and the Waseca County soybean and corn growers for putting this on. Thank you.